Okay. Clears his throat. Okay, it's Sunday the what?
21st.
Sunday the 21st of August.
Yes.
2011.
Right.
This is Things We Play episode 8. Cheryl, you weren't here last time.
No,
Do you want to just do the intros for today?
not really. I'm off the pace. You can't throw me in the deep end like that.
Oh, it's too late. You've been thrown in. You bailed on us. Actually, all right, okay, fuck it. We'll go on with the show, as it were.
Yeah.
We got Shaun here. Shaun.
Hi.
Hello, Shaun. How are you doing?
Yeah, live.
Good. Cheryl, you're back.
Yay!
Where were you?
A&E?
You were in A&E?
Yes. I got elbowed in the face. Told you
I
this.
thought-
Yeah, you did tell me this, but you didn't tell
Well,
us.
headbutted,
You didn't
yeah,
tell
sorry.
us this. Share it with the group, Cheryl. Share it with the group. People were worried. We were getting messages. They were coming through. People were worried for various reasons. One, they were worried that it was the best episode of the show that we've done
My
yet.
input was flawless.
And two, they were worried about you. Where were you? We didn't even know where you were at that
That is
point.
true.
At that time of recording, we didn't know if you were skiving or diving
Or dying.
or dying.
Yeah. No, I played football and I got headbutted in the face.
Like every good footballer does.
Definitely, yeah. I thought I broke my cheekbone, but it was fine.
You have wonderful cheekbones.
Lovely. Yours are alright.
They're all right.
Sean's
They're there somewhere. They're there somewhere.
yeah, I was going to say.
Mine are high. What are you talking about?
What?
They're high, but they're
gorgeous.
covered in saturated fats.
Let's just. I'm going to get mean, but let's just move on.
All right. I should probably say my name's Mike Oldman as well. Hello.
Hello.
How have you been? What's been occurring? No, we've done that.
Yeah.
Was it been 2 weeks? It's been 4 weeks for you, Cheryl. So we're expecting you to have a high action-packed lifestyle, but you've already told us you've been elbowed in the face, so you're off the hook for a little bit. How have you been, Shaun?
Yeah, okay. How have you been?
Yeah, okay.
That's good.
Yeah, okay.
Riveting.
Yeah, I'm glad everyone's okay.
Yeah.
Well, I hope we've been gaming. Have we at least been gaming?
A little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
4 weeks. 4 weeks.
Life.
Life. We've all got lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some are more depressing than others.
That is very true.
Yeah,
But that's
it's
fine.
very true.
All right, so we've been playing some games. There's not been any games out.
No.
That's first thing to sort of get us off the hook and explain the sort of weird game list that we've got to talk about today. It's proper slump now. It's like Summer of Arcade has just ended, and there ain't been any games for a little while. It all starts next week.
Yeah.
It all starts with Deus Ex.
Deus Ex is the kickstart of
Yeah.
the season.
Which we'll be talking about a lot for our next episode. But yeah, from then on, it's kind of that's it, isn't it? For the rest of the year, we're pretty much golden. There's some
packed.
big releases coming out. There's not many gaps, and it's that good, exciting time again for games. So that's quite cool. So there's not really been anything for us to play,
No.
but we've still played.
Yeah. A lot of
Stuff.
demos.
Yeah,
There's been some new demos actually. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the
quite a
one
few.
thing you do get now is you get in that whole there's games coming. There's games coming. So that's good. So we've got some demos to talk about, which we fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then a weird collection of games from old to new to Facebook to it's quite the mixed bag. So where do we start, Shaun?
Minerva's Den?
We could start with Minerva's Den. You've played Minerva's Den.
I have.
Now I said I was going to play Minerva's Den because I picked up Bioshock 2.
You haven't.
I haven't. No, I haven't got around to it. And I'll explain why a little bit later on. But I'm gutted. I will try it because I'm still really interested in it because, as we've all heard, it's brilliant until you played it. In which case, now you think it's terrible. Cheryl, did you play it or you didn't?
I didn't. I downloaded it again.
That's fine. You got elbowed in the face.
Yeah.
Or headbutted. One of the two.
It was
headbutt.
headbutted, but it's fine.
It
Yeah.
was a headbutt with an elbow. thrown
Moving
in.
on swiftly.
All right. So Shaun, yeah, Minerva's Den then. Come on. What's it like? You're a fan. You're a Bioshock fan.
I'm a 50-50 fan.
You're a Bioshock fan.
At present.
Oh right. Okay.
I love Bioshock 1.
Yeah.
Bioshock 1 is an awesome single player experience, and I was hoping for that again with 2, and I felt that I never really got that from 2. So I was pessimistic going into Minerva's Den. Yeah, I'm still. I don't like it.
You'd like it.
No, yeah, it's just more
What?
Bioshock 2.
Really?
Yeah.
Because it's a separate story, isn't
Yeah.
it? It's kind of like an offshoot.
Yeah, I mean, there's kind of subtle differences. There's no upgrade machines, for example,
Okay.
that you had with Bioshock 1 and 2. You find upgrade weapons on dead bodies lying around the place. But where Bioshock 1, it kind of had filler. It sent you to do just various tasks, and along the way, you had a camera, and taking photographs of your enemies then allowed you to get perks against them. So, but that kind of went along with the game, where Bioshock 2's filler is you have a choice of, as you're a big daddy, you have a choice of either saving the kids or killing the kids, harvest them.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've got a 4-year-old daughter, so kind
You're
of
not
killing little
harvesting
girls,
kids.
ripping worms out of
That's
their
fair.
guts.
I
It's
think
like-
probably most people don't generally enjoy harvesting children.
so it then leads to filler. To get your quota of
So
Adam.
is that the bits where it's in Bioshock 2 you do those little protection bits, don't you, where
you're the big
Okay,
daddy,
yeah.
and she goes around harvesting Adam from dead bodies,
Right.
and it takes her X amount of time, and in that time you have to defend her from splicers, like coming waves, and it's a lot of the game. The 4 hours that is Bioshock 2, an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours of that is protecting little girls while they collect Adam, and then dropping them off at the little cubby hole things that they climb through.
And you're
Little
still doing
elevator
all that in Minerva's Den.
Yeah, you're still Alpha Series Big Daddy, Sigma.
But is that just what bothers you? Is it just that that bit, or because Minerva's Den, everyone's raving about the story for it.
There's a lot of spectacle in Bioshock 1. It was quite cinematic. Anyone that's finished it obviously knows at the end the golf club incident is just fucking awesome.
I've not seen the end of Bioshock. We
Yeah,
can spoil
that's-
the end of
that's
Bioshock. It's fine.
because-
What is this golf? I've heard this. Someone else was saying this this week.
Man,
I'm not gonna play
I know
Bioshock.
we like to spoil things for people, but I don't want to. Anyone that hasn't played Bioshock 1, I want them to play.
I'm willing
it,
to bet anyone that hasn't played Bioshock 1 is not going to play Bioshock 1.
But you don't know. You can't say that because it's something that people will come back to through word of mouth.
All right.
When Xbox 360s are being sold for 10 a penny, because whatever 720's out or whatever the fuck it's going to be from Microsoft.
All right. It's noble. It's noble.
But yeah, the golf club incident at the end of 1 is
Right.
it's just one of those standout pieces in video game history. It's like that is
Because you
fucking
actually, at the
awesome.
end, it's all lovely and wonderful, and you go up to the surface and you're on
Again,
a
it
golf
depends whether
course.
you
And you play 12 holes.
Yeah,
just
something
12.
like
It's a weird number, but that's what you play. And that's how Bioshock
Yeah,
ends.
it's Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
Tiger Woods in.
It's all connect.
Yeah. But yeah, 2 doesn't have the spectacle. It doesn't have the set pieces. It's kind of like.
Is that just because you've been there before, though? Because it's back in Rapture, and Rapture was new when
Yeah,
first saw it, I was like,
obviously,
"Well,
yeah,
what's this?
yeah,
This
yeah,
is different. Never
cool.
seen anything like it."
I know exactly what you're saying, and maybe that is part of that. But it just doesn't have any cinematic elements to it. There's no big standout set pieces. It's just.
I mean, I suppose I wonder how much of that is just because it's DLC, and so there's a lot
but
of reusing
that's the same with
environments
Bioshock
and-
2. Bioshock 2 and Minerva's Den, neither of them have it. And it's just kind of like, you've just got the little Metal Gear things coming up in the codec things all the time. And you're like, what is the story? I don't know. I'm just...
It
being
sounds
sent
like you
to
just
do
totally
monotonous
rejected the
tasks.
story.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. But
is
the
strange.
harvesting is like a massive thing with me.
No, that's fine. They're annoying pieces. You do read them. It's just it's just defending an area, and it's
Yeah.
it's the same every single time.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I can understand that. I didn't particularly like that.
I mean, the control system is sweet. When you're playing Bioshock 1, you're like, why do I have to switch between plasmoid and weapon? And
Yeah,
you don't
yeah,
have that
dual-
in 2.
dual wielding now and stuff,
You
yeah.
just
Which makes
zap,
a
shoot,
lot of
zap, shoot,
sense.
yeah. But yeah, the rest of it's kind of lost.
All right.
And
Fine,
because obviously
fine,
it was a
whatever.
different team, wasn't it, making number 2?
Yeah. But Minerva's Den, as far as I'm aware, was written by a different team to that team.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's why everyone was sort of raving about it. So, I'll still give it a go. It's only cheap, isn't it? Like 400 points. or-
800.
Yeah, it's 800.
Is it?
Yeah.
I have a feeling it's 540.
Oh, maybe you're right. Actually.
Yeah,
it
'cause
might
I
be
remember
like a
thinking-
random amount of
Yeah, I
points.
thought it was weird. But anyway, whatever. I'll still give it a go. We'll come to the demos last. I think it's when actual games played. I played some Fallout New Vegas. Said I would. Picked it up, and for the first, I turned it on just thinking I'm gonna just see what happens. see what happens. I'm just going to be in this world and see what happens. And after about like half an hour, I was like, I quite like this. Like, I quite like Fallout New Vegas. And it was weird. I was like, I didn't know, like, I quite wanted to be in the world and I went to just have a look. And I was listening to people. Like, I was actually, like, letting them finish what they were saying and I'm pressing the button to skip past stuff. And then it gave me control, like proper control, I suppose. And the doctor revives you, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know? And I just thought, well, can I kill him? Was the first thought, really. And then the second thought was, oh, I do have a gun. And then I just tried to kill him. And it took ages. And I got to a point where I was like, I can't kill him. It's like, this is shit. You really honestly not going to allow me to kill this character? I don't know how pivotal he was or is. But I was, a bit worried. But that made me more determined to do it anyway. So I did kill him, which started me off well. And then I just sort of killed everyone.
Well, it was going to happen, wasn't it, Mike? Let's be fair.
Yeah, that was it. I played the game for about 4 hours, I think. 4 or 5 hours. But I just killed every single person that I met. Every single one.
Yeah, I understand you had a nice collection of hats by the end, though.
I was the best dressed man in Vegas.
You was the only man in Vegas by the fucking sounds of it.
Exactly. Which is the key to my success. I could have liked it. I got the same as normal Fallout. As I got to a bit where I suddenly started walking for long periods of time. Or you get to the bit where the game starts telling you, no, you can't come here yet. And it's like...
It doesn't...
Well, I'm just going to kill everyone.
New Vegas is weird. It doesn't have that you can't come here yet sort of thing.
No, but it does
have invisible walls, which 3 didn't have.
That's true.
3 just made its edge of its arena, because 3 is literally, it's just the edge that you can't get past. There's some fucking awkward ways of getting into like DC. You have to go through like sewers and shit. You can't just walk into DC in 3. New Vegas has a point where you'll come up a cliff face and it's just like, we don't want you to go that way. We want you to take the path up the cliff.
It's a lot more overground than 3 as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there's blue skies and it's
I quite liked it, and I like listening to the radio and just kind of generally walking around, and it was kind of cool. But there are bits like where it's just sort of like, we're going to put some bastard hard monsters here that you're not getting, like, you might be able to get past here, but you're not supposed to, and we're going to make it as hard as you can to stop you from
There is only
that.
the real fucker is you're kind of heading towards Vegas in a straight line.
And
you come to a quarry.
Yeah.
And in the quarry is just a shed load of death claws.
Yeah.
And
that's just
you
like, you
do
just
have to go
you
round it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
it just doesn't want you to go that way at that point. But, it was all right. Weirdly, I found myself playing majority of the time in third person, which is weird because those games look fucking dreadful in third person.
Yeah,
they're horrible. But it wasn't as bad as I remembered it being. Maybe it's because it's the newer game or whatever. I don't know if it's exactly the same as it was in 3. But I kind of liked it because I wanted to see all my stuff, because that was obviously, I'm the collector. And so I just wanted to kind of see it all, and it was, that was weird. That was how I was playing it. And I didn't really like... It's weird, though. The aiming's well off. It's like you're not even aiming at the reticle when you're in third-person mode. It's like, looks like that's going to hit him, but that ain't going to hit him. That's going to hit something else.
Obviously, because even though it's guns, it's still controlled
by
kind of
stats
D&D stats behind it.
Yeah. But it was like considerably not the same as when I was in first person. So that was all right. I'm never going to play again. I've done it.
Really?
Yeah. I've done it. They're all dead. I
won.
If
if you tried to play it, you would have got pissed off real quick.
Yeah. So I killed everyone.
If you tried to do missions, because you do. It's weird.
There aren't any missions.
It's weird.
There's not any missions in this game. You just go up to people and you pull out your gun.
Fallout 3 will just kind of let you blunder through stuff and fail. So if you've got if your speech isn't high enough, I can't remember if it comes up with a red warning or not in 3, but you can select that option and just fail at it.
Right.
Where in New Vegas, it tells you categorically what your stats are in comparison to what stats you need to pass that specific thing. And so you just kind of stop doing missions and have to wander off and level up for ages and then come back to that mission, which I didn't really like.
Who cares? Because you just kill everyone. Once you killed the first guy, you've then got more equipment that enables you to better kill the second guy. Once you've killed like 3 guys, you've got a collection of guns, and you're no longer just a dude walking up to a dude. You're like, I don't get near you anymore. Like, you just hear a sound, and then you drop down, and then you're naked.
Right.
And that's it. And then there's just this figure walking off in the distance. This badass dressed guy just leaves.
I sense we can have a similar conversation about Deus Ex, aren't we?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Except that I don't think you can leave people naked in Deus Ex.
It's fine. The naked thing's not a reason for it. It's just a byproduct of the situation, And that's not always. Sometimes there's some badly dressed people in that game.
Yeah, this is true.
All right. So another thing actually is we'll go straight into this because Cheryl, I haven't heard your voice enough, my dear.
No, not yet.
Medal of Honor.
Yeah.
You rave about Medal of Honor. There's one episode of the show where you said it was your game of the year last year,
which
is
it was.
Absolutely mental. And anyway, you convinced me. You convinced me to part with my hard-earned cash, my daughter's inheritance.
Oh, it was £9.
Yeah,
Let it go.
you got me to part with that.
£9.
And to play this game because you said it was awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Game of the year last year, people. And
me?
I fired it up, and yeah, for you, all right. But previously I trusted your judgment. And I didn't play it all. I played for about 4 or 5 hours, and I stopped when the game said, "I'm broken. Please stop playing me." It's terrible. It's not terrible, but it's just like the world's most generic first-person shooter.
You see, I think the plus for me, and obviously Joe as well,
You dare plus for me. All right, go on.
is the sound. The sound is
The
a very
sound
big
is
thing.
good. I'll give it the sound because it's got like Battlefield 2 style sound.
It
which
is very
awesome.
atmospheric. The whole thing, and the story as well. It does hold on to you. I mean,
Yeah,
you
but it's
didn't get
just
to the
so
end.
linear.
The ending
It's
of
so
it is
linear,
brilliant.
man.
It's not.
Oh, it is. It's back to people like, what? I can open that door. I'll open the door, and it's like, no, you won't open the door. This dude will open the door, and then
You blow
when he says
up
we'll
the
go,
door.
you do blow up doors, and occasionally
Yes.
you kick them in. But it's just, yeah, I didn't like it. There was too many dudes. We've argued about this before, but they're definitely there. There are dudes in that game that are like doing animations. They're coming in, I don't know, tending to a wound in the background or about to load a rocket or something, and they're not. You're not supposed to shoot them yet, and so you shoot them, and they just like, I am invincible man because I am doing something else, and it's just like, man, and you just can't kill them.
But that's
and then all the
because
other dudes in front, you can, but it's like games.
You
going,
go
"Don't shoot the
out
ones
to
at the
break
back."
these games.
That's
If you
yeah,
play
I'm
the
killing
game how it's
enemy.
supposed to be played, you won't find that shit. But it's because you look for every little problem.
That game is supposed to be played with a smile on your face.
Yeah, I did.
It was broken from the get-go.
It was fine. You didn't even play online, which was my big
I didn't. I know,
part
but
of it.
I specifically wanted to go single player rather than multiplayer because the multiplayer is by DICE anyway,
Yeah.
and should be just Battlefield. So I'm expecting the multiplayer to be pretty good. It's a weird situation because I'm not sure. At the same time as DICE making Battlefield 2, they were doing Medal of Honor, and it's like, do you reckon they were really working as hard on the Medal of Honor multiplayer as they were on the Battlefield 2 stuff? Like this one's our game, and this one we're just kind of doing this for this guy. It's kind of. I don't expect it to be as good as Battlefield 2, but I do expect it to be good, and I love Battlefield 2 multiplayer.
Yeah.
So I'm sure I should have played.
Like I
it.
said, the multiplayer I still go back to now because it hasn't got many maps. It's not got many weapons, but it's so much fun.
Well, the reason I stopped playing the game was partly because of ultimate frustration because it was dreadful, but also because I was doing an ATV level at night.
Yes,
really
yeah,
lame
I know this
ATV.
one.
Sort of follow this dude around, then get off, shoot some things, get back in your ATV, and get off again, and get on, then get off. And the sort of main bulk of the gameplay, I feel like in the level, was getting on and off your ATV. Except for it got to a point where I'd driven to my destination, and the game just went. Actually, the game didn't go. The game went. Get off your ATV, and then it went. And I'm like, but well, I'll just no, you're not. And I was glued to the seat, and I could look around, and I could still shoot my gun a little bit, but I couldn't do shit.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, it's been fun. Thanks for coming along, but
I'm done.
oh yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think this is investable, so I'm out. And so yeah, that was it. That was Medal of Honor. So I'm glad it was your game of the year last year. What came out last year?
Red Dead Redemption?
No, that was this year.
No, it was not.
last year.
Was it?
LA Noire was this year.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Genius.
Red Dead.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that blows it out of the water straight
Yeah,
straight
so-
to the
Yes,
back.
but I'm not going to go into this.
No, that's fine. That's fine. You don't need you to justify yourself.
I won't. I don't need to.
Gonna be here next week.
Next week?
Oh, next episode.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Good stuff. All right. Let's flash backwards. I don't know what the noise. I was going to do a noise then, flashing backwards, but I don't know. There you go. It's the flash backwards noise. Shaun, you played Transformers.
Yeah.
You played an old Transformers game.
Yeah.
On like some ancient console I've never heard of.
PS2.
What?
PS2.
What was a PS2?
Yeah.
All right. What's that then?
Piece shit 2.
Nice. Tell us about the game. You were raving about it because you think it's brilliant. What made you go back to a console that came out before Christ?
Because it is the definitive Transformers game. It's based on Transformers Armada. I don't know whether the cartoon came first or the graphic novels by DreamWorks, but it's kind of like an offshoot. There was multiple versions at the same time. War Within, Armada, Generation 1, which is the original Transformers from the 80s that we all know and love.
I think the important question here, Shaun, is because I don't know anything about what you're talking about.
Right.
So I think the important question is, does Optimus Prime look like a truck in this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is
So
Bumblebee a car?
Yeah.
Is he yellow?
Yeah.
Is he a Volkswagen?
No.
Not technically, no, I don't think so.
Okay.
He's not a Chevrolet though.
Yeah.
But the Transformers themselves look kind of like the toys.
No. They are redesigned for Armada.
They look a little bit like the toys.
Yeah, you can tell who's who. They don't look like the film Transformers. They're still quite clunky and made of 10 pieces rather than 10 billion pieces. So they got the simple Transformer animations. It was big at the time. Atari released it, as opposed to Activision that handle all the Transformers licensing these days. At the time, Hasbro said that Decepticons couldn't die. You couldn't kill any of the main Decepticons. So the main Decepticons are bosses, and Megatron has a Decepticlone army.
Oh. So you can have lots of faceless
Generic.
people you can fight.
Yeah, exactly. But they're still quite bright and colourful, and they pop out from the environment, unlike the grey ones.
But the main bosses can't die.
No. You battle the main bosses, and like the boss fights are the fucking main meat of the thing. They're where the spectacle come in, where you fight Starscream as he emerges out of a Mayan temple, and the battle can go across the entire map. So they're like sandbox maps.
Yeah, so actually, it's a good point. Because so what is this? Is third person?
Yeah, third person. And the controls are weird because it's PlayStation 2. But you have Y is your transform button, so you can literally just peg along. Press
So
the
it's
Y button.
similar to the
car.
latest ones, the War for Cybertron that came out. That's sort of
So Wolf Cybertron is probably the closest iteration of the current generation.
Just so we know exactly what it is, which is kind of almost like Gears of War with wheels.
No, it's not that linear. It's
No, but I'm sorry, I'm just thinking multiplayer stuff.
There is no
environments,
stuff.
and battles and stuff.
It's just one. It's single player, massive map.
But you've got like for when you're doing the boss battles, you're in some sort of like I'm imagining a map
doesn't
like
close. It doesn't
like
close off.
Dynasty Warriors sort of thing.
It doesn't close off. You can literally fight across the entire map, and they're big maps. They're massive. You know, you can drive around in them, and they're kind of jungle and snowy fields and stuff like that. You collect mini-cons, which is how you adjust your abilities and stuff.
Yeah.
So the mini-cons then are little robots that transform into weapons and give you perks and abilities. They come colour-coded for passive, offensive and defensive. So you can pick up one which is rocket launcher, pick up another one which is heat-seeking missiles. Obviously the main one to get is the fucking glider wings. Then the game opens up massively. You know, you stand at the top of a precipice, run along, transform into your vehicle, burn down a ramp, jump off, transform again into robot form, then pop your wings and glide for like 2 miles.
That sounds cool.
It is sweet, man. It is genius. But there's certain things like the first time you come up against Tidal Wave, who's like a aircraft carrier, and when he transforms into like a 150-foot fucking robot, and he lets off a whole silo of missiles at you, and the missiles fill the sky. You're just cacking yourself the first time you go up against some of the bosses, man.
Nice. All right.
But yeah, it's a good romp. I mean, if you see it in your local store, you're looking about £3 for it. If you've got a 60 gig PS3 or PS2 sitting in your loft, it's worth
going.
Yeah, getting it out and having a
it's I've heard good things about it, but it's one of those things. There's so many Transformers games.
Yeah,
and bad ones.
Yeah.
That it's difficult to know which ones don't have. But all right, so is it just
it's just called Transformers, but it is from the Armada brand.
Series,
Yeah.
All right, fine. What can you say? All right, we need to breeze through some things. I said I hadn't played Minerva's Den.
Right.
And I was supposed to. I was going to do it yesterday.
Right.
But yesterday was the day that I discovered a game on Facebook. And yeah, I know, and it's terrible because it's a game on Facebook and everyone knows they're terrible and that they should be shit on by everyone. But it's new, and I was like, and I heard good things. So I was like, well, I'll give it a go. I haven't tried a Facebook game in ages, since the real crap stuff from 5 years ago. So, yeah,
stuff like that.
And it's The Sims Social, and that's terrible because it's The Sims, and I shouldn't be playing a Sims game, and I certainly shouldn't be playing a Sims game on Facebook.
Certainly not.
And I reckon I've put about 8 hours into it over the last 24 hours.
You'll never get those back.
But you should see my house. That's the problem. That's the problem. It's like not only have I put 8 hours into it, and I'd realised I'm in the lion's den, but I've also made 2 purchases with my debit card.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Not for much. And the only reason I did it is because it was the lowest thing you could pay was £1.22, and I was like, that's all right.
Is it?
Is it?
It is. It's not 15 quid. All right.
What did you get out of that?
I just bought some little sim coins so
Right.
I could finish my couch.
Right.
And that, I know, but that's like, so I'm not happy about this, but it's freaking worked, hasn't it? It's like,
on you.
Yeah. It's a slippery slope.
But I tell you what, it's bloody good. It's like, it's a really good version of The Sims for a start. It's making me go, would I like The Sims? And it's like, no. But it's like the iOS version of The Sims, which was nice. And they've just made it into sort of Farmville, or Cityville, or any of these villas.
Yeah.
Where most of what you're doing is just clicking a button, and it comes up with a timer saying in 4 minutes click this button again. Yeah? And then it goes, ding, you got this. Which is what all those games do. It's what Game Dev Story does. So it's that whole free-to-play thing. But it does it in a better way, because it does it and you actually see stuff happen. Some of those games, you literally only click a button and see a timer and click a button, yeah? At least in this, I'm doing stuff, like I'm putting pictures on the wall, or I'm going visiting friends and stuff. It's massively addictive. Only launched a couple of days ago.
Right.
I would recommend it to everyone. It's brilliant. The biggest problem with it is, and something I told you about it, Shaun, earlier, you went mental going, don't start spamming my Facebook wall with crap. And that is one of the biggest problems with it, and it's a bloody good game. It's really cool. I'm really enjoying it. Right.
But you're limited.
But I'm limited because there's a couple of options. Like if you want to build extra, it's just classic Sims, yeah. So if you want to build extra rooms on your house, which obviously is something you're going to want to do, it wants you to get other friends to help you.
Yeah.
And for all that I can see in the game at the moment, there's no other way of doing that. Now I've only got one other friend playing it, so there's not enough people to get that room built. And I'm not going to spam people on Facebook with these little requests to come play my game, mainly because I don't want people to know I'm playing The Sims Social, yeah? But also because I'm not an arsehole.
But you're doing it on a podcast.
So, but that's different. What I mean is I'm not spamming anyone. We're talking about the game.
You may find friends.
But this is an issue because it's preventing me from properly enjoying the game. It's clever, and if you have got loads of friends in it, it'll be brilliant. It's brilliant, The stuff you interact with other people really ties in what Facebook is, I suppose, into a game. So it's cool. I'm going to keep playing it. It's kind of you won't be seeing updates from me on it because I don't want you to know. But it's surprisingly good.
I'm sure soon enough, many of your friends are going to be playing it anyway.
It may be,
Those people that spend their entire lives on Facebook.
Well, but that's the key, isn't it? That's where the money is. If you got people, I tell you what, if I was making games right now, I'd be doing something for Facebook. People are going to spend. I've put that much time in it because I'm not doing anything else. It's what Facebook does to people. That's what Facebook does to people, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
And so why not get something for people to do that's yours while they're on there? And Facebook goes, yes, that's cool. We'll let you do that because you're still then on here. It's like a win for everyone. But it does make me want to check out Civilization World or Civ World or whatever it's called, which is the recently released thing. Because it seems like they're pretty good. It just works pretty well. So I've been playing that, and that's why I didn't play Minerva's Den, which is shocking, but really cool house.
Right.
You know, it's pretty cool. It's small, but it's tastefully decorated. Let's talk about some demos. Cheryl,
Aye.
Where we're going to start?
where are we going to start? What demos we played?
Probably body count.
Body count, body
We want
count,
to start on.
body count, body count,
Yeah. Don't know why you're doing that. That's
body
fine.
count, body count.
Lovely.
Oh, I'm putting this chewed up pen in.
So it's made by the team Made Black.
Yeah, sort of. Well, it's Stuart Black was doing it. Who was the guy that headed up the Black.
So was the producer,
No, probably creative director or something. I'm
Right.
not sure.
and that's his big selling point, isn't it? That's his kind of
Yeah,
tagline.
yeah. And he walked out before the end of this thing. Actually
Right.
left. But I don't think that was a case of it being bad. I think it's more of I don't know. It's not this. We don't know. We can't comment on that. But yeah, Black was alright. Black was good. You have a different opinion of
I
Black,
haven't
but at
played
the
Black.
time, Black was brilliant. It was like kind of was one of those annoying. I mean, it came out sort of tail end of the PS2.
Yeah, and
Live.
Xbox.
It looked awesome. It looked really nice, and it felt weighty. It was like a real gritty sort of shooter, but you couldn't jump in it, which really annoyed me.
Right.
And it was all about shooting barrels, really, and everything blowing up. This feels a lot like Black,
Yeah.
except you can jump now.
Right.
But the demo was crap, wasn't it?
It was buggy.
It was. I didn't have any sort of bug issues, but it was just a bad demo.
It looked
I mean,
awful.
as soon as I
Yeah.
started, there was a guy just wandering into a wall repeatedly and with kind of flicking back and forth animation of his
Nice.
legs.
Yeah.
But that's fine. But we got
Yeah, it's demo at the end of the
yeah,
day.
exactly. And that stage is that's why they have those screens in it saying. Don't
Although it
judge
is
us.
out pretty soon.
Yeah, true. But the demo would have been made
Yeah,
way
true.
in advance and from different builds of the game and the rest of it is. But it's just, I just thought it was a really poorly structured demo for a
Yeah.
start. It doesn't give you any context of what's going on. It just
No.
throws you into this world. Which we should probably explain. It is a generic first-person shooter.
Very.
And it's, the same, it's Call of Duty-ish in that it's, left stick to run and right stick to do something else and iron sights and everything else.
It's just, things are weird. It's like, if you're going for realism and have iron sights, why have you got weird little icon things floating around?
Yeah.
It's
Well, I
just
don't
like,
think iron sights necessarily designate realism.
well,
It's just,
kind
it's,
of is,
it's just
isn't
the
it?
other method of doing it.
It's like an irritating thing, and most people would argue that it's put in for realism. So why have you got fucking little glowing icons that don't mean anything?
I don't.
for you?
They do mean something.
It's kind of
We should
like
probably explain what it is we're talking about.
Call of Duty and Crackdown.
But that's fine. That's fine.
Bastard child.
I don't think that's too much of an issue. I think you can have iron sights and icons on the screen.
Really?
It's not too much of a problem. But yeah. So it's got almost like a bullet storm.
No.
Bullet storm? What's it called? Bullet storm? Yeah.
It-
Well,
It
it's
feel
got
like
the
Bulletstorm
arcade
to me.
feel.
No, but it's got a bullet storm idea system with the rewards, and it rewards you specific ways for different shots on people. So headshots and arm shots or whatever.
Oh yeah, the
And
multiplayer.
things like that. Yeah. So it's got that sort of like system going through it, and then it's just basically Call of Duty in Resident Evil 5. It's almost seemed like the setting was like
Yeah.
this weird shanty town that was very orange and
Yeah.
corrugated iron shanty buildings and stuff. But it's one of its selling points was its destruction, its shredding or whatever it's called. I think it was you shred the scenery, which I thought was quite cool. There's
first, it seems cool.
when everything's sort of busting up around you, it's kind of that's quite impressive. Except for it's you can't destroy anything. It's not like the whole world can be destroyed. It's not like trying to do a old battlefield thing. Or Red Faction or anything like that. It's just select areas can be destroyed identically everywhere.
It seems anything that's made of
Easily.
wood can be shredded. If it's made of corrugated iron, fuck your
Yeah.
bullets. is
Well, I don't
useless
even think
against
it was that rigid because I think that's why I had more of a problem with it. Because even now I'd go, well,
Yeah,
okay,
no,
they're
there's
different
one
properties.
point where to
But-
get to your goal, you have to blow away scenery to reach it. You have to
Right.
move through a building, blowing out the walls. And the corrugated iron is just completely indestructible.
Yeah, but I thought it was more than that. I thought it was just like almost certain textures in general. So like the little huts themselves, the bits with the window,
Yeah.
which they were made out of the same stuff as everything else. They could be destroyed, but the other walls couldn't.
Yeah.
It just looked even more fucking
I suppose. Yeah.
annoying in that like you've just chosen bits that I don't know. So that was a shame. And then it just really massively suffers from the whole the strategy from the enemies you fight, of which it seemed to be two factions, like a military faction and then just the black population of wherever I was. Like one faction was just entirely black men, and that was it. No one else, just black men. And then the other guys, apparently it's not really women in this game. There's some sort of scandal online about it. I don't know what it was about. And then the other side was some sort of military force, and that was it. But they all suffer from having the one strategy, which is, I'll go and stand next to this red explosive barrel and shoot from there. I will be safe. And then like everyone's going, great idea, Tony. I think I'm going to go over here by this explosive barrel and just wait there. If they start shooting at us, just duck behind the barrel. It'll be fine. And so you don't shoot anyone. You just shoot barrels. Yeah. And everything explodes.
It's literally like every time you pull the trigger, something's blowing up.
Yeah, it's mental. I remember this bit towards the end of the demo where it like comes over on the radio and goes, there's snipers everywhere. And you're like, well, there's 2 towers in front of me and there's 2 snipers in front of that. It's not everywhere. There's like there's 2 snipers in front of me. And then you can barely see the snipers. You can just see like the laser sights of the guns. And this giant red explosive barrel behind them. And it's like, well, I'll just shoot those and that'll be that. And then I did that.
That was that.
Yeah. And he goes, that's it. End of the demo. Hey, you like that? More coming. Bye. And it's really quick. It's really quick. It doesn't hang around at all. It's just like the game starts up. It goes, yo, do you want to go shoot things? Bah, then bang, 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 and it goes, done, brilliant, more coming, bye, done. Body count out now. Weird, terrible. Codemasters.
I didn't really expect much from it.
I'd forgotten about it. I'd forgotten about it entirely. So that wasn't great.
It's terrible.
But there was another demo we played, wasn't there? Which also wasn't great. I think it's safe to say.
Driver San Francisco.
Yeah, Return of the Driver series.
But not really.
It's like, was it really there? Did everyone love Driver 1? I didn't really like Driver 1. How did you feel about Driver 1?
There were bits of it that were cool.
Yeah.
It was kind of. I'm a big replay junkie, so I loved all the cinematic cameras and replay stuff. It was cool sliding around a corner in a police chase and have your hubcap come off and that was kind of cool. It was only those tiny moments, that was it, but I'd play it and put myself through hell to just get those moments. So, it wasn't great, and they had a bad system at the beginning with the learning to drive stuff, the driving test. Which if you couldn't do, you just couldn't play the game. So.
Yeah.
But they got
Gran Turismo style, wasn't it?
It got a little bit better as it went along, and Driver 3 allowed you to get out of the car and get
Driver
on motorbikes
3
and stuff.
sucked balls.
Driver 3 was bad, it was bad.
But the only one in the entire series that I've actually liked was Parallel Lines.
Parallel Lines, yeah, you spoke about it.
Yeah.
So it's been, and that was a weird one. That was one that was much more story driven than any others, wasn't it? So it's had a rocky.
But literally
career.
every fucking driver they release, they're like, this one's going back to roots. This is just going to be like Driver 1, and then it's not, and it's crap. And they say about the next one, and they just don't leave it alone.
But they've got it, haven't they? They don't want to let it go. They want to bring it back. It still has. It still has enough pulling power to get people in. It's a name that's out there. I'm sure they don't want to drop it. I'm sure they're only going to say good things about the next game we've got coming out, regardless. But this one's even weirder, isn't it? Because this one, you're in a coma.
Yeah.
You're in a coma, so that and it said there was a thing online recently that said that the car switching mechanic. So you're in a coma, which allows you to jump from car to car. That's its gimmick, isn't it? You can jump from car to car, take control of those. They said in an interview recently that only came about. The mechanic came first, basically, and then they went, he's in a coma. It wasn't like they went, yeah, we've got this guy's in a coma, and maybe you could jump from car to car. No, it was completely other way around, which I guess is fair enough. The demo was weird. It looked really nice.
It looks quite nice.
I thought it looked awesome. It was like 60 frames per second. It was smooth. It was shiny. I thought it had a nice look to it. But it was, and actually you didn't like the handling of the controls.
No,
did you?
I fucking hate handling.
So,
it's just,
I don't mind it because that's how Driver. That to me is how Driver feels. It's these big swimmy cars with the back end swings out and stuff.
It's just tailgate, easy. So the slightest little thing. And why the fuck is the boost on the left analog stick?
Yeah,
that was a good idea.
Yeah,
good point.
What's wrong with buttons? That's what they're there for. Use them.
Wow, it's using buttons though.
Yeah, exactly. It's fine. Use buttons. It's all right.
All right, but no, if there's any, if you've used them all,
no, I'm pretty sure that game does not use all of the buttons.
I think it's a poor decision to put it on the stick. Yeah, it's just regardless. It's just bad implementation. It should have been a click, if nothing else.
Yeah,
but pushing up on the stick is really difficult to do.
Yeah.
While steering and the tailgate, man.
But that's Driver, man. That's Driver. You're driving old muscle cars. That's what they're like.
It's just insane.
I don't mind that
because it flies all over.
The thing, like with driving physics and games like that is after a while you get used to them anyway. You know, you adopt into
but
into that.
and the thing is, you're jumping from car to car. You're not always driving a fucking muscle car.
No, but you are choosing which car you are driving.
Driving a sports car, and it does exactly the same thing. It just spins out at the slightest turn.
Plus, the other thing is, you say obviously it looks pretty, but the map is boring.
Yeah, it is.
And you can't. There's not many different things you can do. You're always on a road. There's no real off-road stuff, which is a bit weird.
Yeah, I don't know if I can't remember what, because there's like 3 different sections on the demos.
3 different demos.
I can't remember which one it was. It might have just been the first one, the bog standard story arc demo that they show you. There's a bit of off-roading. Yeah, you can kind of like take shortcuts that lead through little alleyways, which are
basic,
covered.
And it's not very interactive either.
No.
That's the other thing. It's a really flat, lifeless world. It's kind of like, you barely hit people if you wanted to.
No,
it's not like
don't hit people
you
at all.
can't hit
They
people.
just pop.
They always get away.
Yeah.
I thought
it's the same as Wheelman.
But I mean, even that, I think it's fine. But it's not. There's classic things that I remember from Driver. Things like there being everywhere, being cardboard boxes and stuff to smash through, and various other bits. There just didn't seem to be any of that. It was just sort of like
it was plain.
Yeah, it was a really clean sort of flat world almost.
Kind of crazy taxi-ish.
But without the personality or fun. It was cool. I thought the switching mechanic, as much as it was really weird, and I don't quite understand it. And actually, every time I jumped to another car, I didn't really know what I was supposed to be doing or where I was or who. It was really, I found that really confusing.
It kind of gave you more
because it was all in the story, wasn't it? It was like you've got to make this guy do something bad so the police go after him.
Yeah,
and it's just like
and to convince your partner.
Yeah, and it's weird. It's like, well, that was all weird. It's like, so does my man like teleport to another car?
It's like
in the other car,
like
controlling another
because
driver.
He projects his consciousness to take over that driver, but he's still following in the car behind and driving that car also.
And
so
that makes me feel like I'm really not in control of the fact that AI has taken over driving the car that I'm actually technically in.
Yeah.
I find that really weird. I'm like, well, this game makes me feel really linear.
It's kind of got the mind jack thing where your character still carries on playing.
It's just weird though.
While you're possessing another.
But I like the effect of doing that. It's cool the way the camera, because you can come out, you can bring the camera out quite far and get like an overview, almost like a Google Maps sort of thing of the city, I thought that was quite cool. But yeah, it just wasn't any fun.
But then the kind of second part of the demo is a race.
Yeah.
Where
you use it to jump. Actually, yeah,
someone in their door. I don't know if it's
you're trying to get both cars to finish first and second.
Yeah,
and I thought that was quite good. That was quite clever.
That's got the quick switch.
Yeah,
it doesn't go into the whole.
And you only jump between those two
which
cars.
I assume is kind of going to be the online aspect of it, which none of us did actually play.
No, so there was a multiplayer demo that came out afterwards, so we haven't tried yet. But yeah, presumably. Yeah, that was all right. I thought that was better. That was a more clever use of using it, because you could only jump between those two cars.
Yeah.
And you just try and catch them both up.
Yeah, and keep them ahead of everybody else.
That was nice. That was kind of like almost like a time management thing, which was quite cool. But not a good demo.
No.
Not a good demo at all.
It's
actually not the demo's fault. It was just kind of like not a good game.
Yeah.
But
it's not going to make people go, I want that in my collection.
No.
At 40 quid.
No.
When other things are coming out, especially.
I think you're right.
Or 50 with a little model.
Yeah.
All right. Well, should we take a little break?
Aye.
We've been gassing now for 43 minutes. Let's take a little break. We'll come back. We'll talk about some more games, do a little bit of news, and get the hell out of here.
And what is the song that you will be playing?
The song we're going to be playing through the break, Cheryl, I would like you to announce.
It's Body Count, and it's the Gears of War.
And you like this track?
It's alright. It's rapping about gears.
I'll be the judge.
Coalition of warriors, gentlemen. Gold lances, long shots, and drone guts. CMG got the swag, got a bloodlust. Unleash your grill, fuck a bone chill. The hammer and down will make the locust kneel. I'm a hammer burst pro. Headshot berserkers with the torque bow. I give a fuck about a horde. OG Marcus Phoenix from the Pendulum Wars. Never enough. We want more. Body parts and brain. Blood on the floor. Never afraid. We've been here before. We are the Gears of War.
You're listening to episode 8 of Things We Play. Mike Oldman, Sean Hart, Cheryl Cat. That was Body Count. What's the song called?
Body Count. Oh no, the
It's
Gears
by
of
Body
War.
Count. The Gears of War.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, it's alright.
It's on our iTunes. Buy it.
It's a bit more aggressive than the normal music we would play,
That is true.
but that's okay.
But it's game related. That's
It
what
is game
matters.
related, that's fine. Alright. We've got a few more games to get through actually before we get on to a bit of news, because some stuff's happened. It's been Gamescom, hasn't it? So there's been a few interesting things that happened in the last 2 weeks. I played another game that was late to the party too, but it's awesome. Pac-Man Championship Edition DX. Man. You know, like, it's weird. I think it's brilliant. It's a good game anyway. It came out ages ago. It came out,
Yeah.
I don't know, months and months and months and months and months ago. Maybe even a year ago now. And everyone's raving about it, and I was like, I'm not picking it up. It's Pac-Man.
Yeah.
You know? And now I'm sat here going, oh my god, one of the best games I've played this year is Pac-Man. You know? And it just changes things really nicely. Like, have you played it? Have you played it?
Yeah,
I've played it, yeah.
I played the demo.
It's just the whole sort of like, because the ghosts are now asleep when you go and play them. So first of all, it's just a load of different modes, isn't it? For the games, like time attack and various other things. But the ghosts are kind of asleep, and now you wander past them, and they wake up and they follow you.
Yeah.
And so you get loads of them because they keep reappearing, and you can get like 50 of them following you, and then you just eat a pellet, turn around, and eat 50 of them in a row, and it's the most satisfying thing ever.
is.
And that's basically it. The only other thing that's kind of really different about the game, I suppose, is it's got this bullet time when you get close to
Yeah.
this, when you're not, when you could die. And Pac-Man's hitbox is so small, it's unreal that you can pretty much wiggle around almost any ghost situation, and especially in slow-mo. But it's brilliant. It doesn't make the game. The game's not too, because it's time attack based, most of it. You know, you're just trying to beat your own time. It doesn't matter that you don't die very much.
Yeah.
In fact, it makes it better. You know, because then you're just you're playing for longer, getting more invested, and you know, getting a bigger score to beat. But I love that bullet time. It's weird. It's just like, it's Pac-Man with bullet time.
But it works really well.
But it works.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so good. You're not expecting anything from it, because it's still Pac-Man.
I was quite surprised how much I like it, because I fucking hate Pac-Man.
Yeah.
And it'll probably make me the arch enemy of everybody out there.
Yeah.
Because he's an institute. But it's just, yeah.
Well, it's just
I
really
didn't
old,
even
isn't
like
it? At the
No,
end
I
of the
didn't
day.
even like it in the fucking 80s.
I know, but
Because it was just so frustrating.
Yeah, I suppose. But I think that's the biggest thing now. Is like Pac-Man's it's just a really old game. Right? It's
Yeah.
not gonna. New Pac-Man doesn't stand up now. You know, old Pac-Man doesn't stand up now. But this doesn't feel like old. This feels like a new
It's
game.
kind
It
of-
feels like
it's
a
kind
decent
of-
arcade game.
The new shot in the blood kind of Geometry Wars reboosts.
Yeah.
Remodel where Geometry
Well, it's
Wars
just
are
that-
suddenly cool again, you know what I'm saying? And then they kind of brought out 2 and it's got all the different game modes, and it does seem very much like that
It's just the right way
of playing Pac-Man.
of like of remixing an old game.
Yeah.
You know, and there's a few have done it. And Space Invaders Infinity Dream is pretty good as well. That's another good one that does it. But that's the way you should go. You know, and it's clearly like it only works if it's a good idea.
Yeah.
You know, don't just redo something and put some quirky shit in it for the sake of it. You know, the Pac-Man Championship Edition DX, which is the worst name ever, especially considering the Pac-Man Championship Edition exists and is completely different. But it's it's just a core idea. Like it wouldn't need to be a Pac-Man game. You know, it could be anything.
Yeah.
And that cool game would be cool. Like Choo Choo Rocket's cool. You know, it could be like that. So that's wicked. Everyone should play it. Done. You played Kill Team, Cheryl.
Yeah.
What's the full title? Is it Warhammer?
It's
the
40,000.
Yeah, Kill Team.
All right, it's the Space Marine pre-order bonus, wasn't it?
I don't know whether it was a bonus, but what you do in that game, you unlock stuff for Space Marine.
Okay, all right. Tell us a little about that.
It plays a bit like Smash TV. It's all about analog shooting.
Okay, so is it like a top-down? Is
It's
it like
sort of half and half. It's sort of sometimes it goes into like flat 2D, and then goes into sky 3D. It's really bizarre.
For some reason, I thought it was like a third person. I'm probably thinking of Space Marine.
Yeah,
That's why, yeah.
yeah.
I mean, Space Marines looks a lot very similar to Gears.
Yeah, very gearsy.
Yeah, it's that style stuff, but it's got more sort of free combat, I think,
Yeah.
isn't it, in the melee stuff. But anyway, Kill Team.
Yes.
That was what it's called. I didn't know. That makes me more interested in it to learn that it's that sort of thing. So is it like a twin stick? thing?
Yeah, it's twin stick.
Right, okay.
But yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff in it. There's also a melee option, which is quite cool because most of your characters have like a massive sword. And they throw a shitload of enemies at you at some points, and it's crazy. I've only played like 2 levels, but I want to finish it. It's quite satisfying. The upgrade system is really good, and like I said, you're unlocking a lot for Space Marine.
Yeah,
so
that's quite cool.
If you want to buy that, you need to get this game.
Yeah.
To get all the extra stuff. There's upgrade terminals like halfway through through the game. But it's just really satisfying. It's a little bit gory, and it's mission based as well, where you've got to go to, say, for instance, an industrial waste area where you've got to just let it all out so it kills all the people beneath you. But yeah, it's just a bit of fun. It's very no brainer.
Is it co-op?
I do believe it's co-op, yes. I think it might only be online though. Oh no, it's online, offline, fucking 4-player. 4, yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say I'd expect it to be.
But yeah, it is one of those games you can just sit down, have a blast, not really have to think too much about it.
That's alright. Was it expensive though?
800.
That's not too bad.
I think it was 800,
like you take
but I'm pretty sure.
It's like £7 or something.
Yeah, like 800. You're almost going to guarantee a purchase, but 12 is a lot.
Yeah, I think it was 800.
You want good quality for 1,200.
All right then. We'll speaking of XBLA titles and 1,200 points, I played some insanely twisted Shadow Planet this week. Played quite a lot of it actually. I quite like that.
Really?
I do. I know you guys didn't really get on with it, but it's better than I thought it was. And when I first went in, even then I didn't think it was great. I think it looks lovely. I think it looks fantastic. Nothing really blew me away about the animation or anything like that, but it does look nice and it's very clean and crisp. And I kind of appreciate its style, but not jaw dropping or anything.
Sure.
But yeah, I quite like the game. I just, just floating around as your little spaceship, going around this little map and grabbing stuff. Yeah, all right, that was all right. It just, after a little while, it really got me in the same way that it was that total Metroidvania stuff of, I liked searching around for getting new abilities and going back and opening new stuff up. It's really basic, but it was cool. I thought some of the boss battles were quite interesting. All the sort of magnetic pulling and pushing stuff and it was it's all right.
I think it, like you said, it looks really nice. It plays all right, but it's not 1,200 Microsoft points. It shouldn't be.
It's not, but then it made me. It did make me do. It made me think about Summer of Arcade in general. Which at the beginning of the summer, we were also like, "This is a really good lineup for Summer of Arcade," and I think everyone's kind of thought it was a brilliant lineup. And they're normally pretty good anyway.
Yeah.
But I've come out the other side just thinking, I don't know if that was great.
It started off really
Bought a lot of them, but was it? Bastion obviously was brilliant.
The problem is they probably peaked with Bastion.
Yeah,
I think it's done very well. The lineup was.
But From Dust didn't. I still haven't finished it. It didn't grab me in the same way. I like it. I want to support, old Eric Chahi and all of his efforts, and I still like the game, but it's stressful, and I didn't enjoy it as much. And
yeah, no,
it's almost stood out as a low point.
But I wouldn't say it's a low point.
I mean, it's still a high low point.
It is polished.
Yeah.
It's just that it is quite frustrating, quite
repetitive.
Exactly.
I don't know now if it's a game that I would recommend, so easily, because it isn't. I don't know if everyone came out. I think a lot of people will have left it sort of halfway through.
Yeah, it's boring.
Yeah, it can be, and it's frustrating. I want to finish it, but I don't want to play it.
Yeah.
And Fruit Ninja didn't speak to me at all. I'm not interested.
Fruit Ninja had a quick blast on Fruit Ninja. So it's not a lot I can say about Fruit Ninja. I think it's fine. It works. I think it's Fruit Ninja's an alright game anyway. It's successful enough that everyone kind of likes it. It just £10 for Fruit Ninja still jars a little bit after only paying whatever it is. I think it's £1 or less than £1 on the iPhone. It just doesn't seem to add up right. But it's a fun enough game. Kinect needs good. If I was going to play Kinect now and I wasn't going to put on Kinect Adventures or something, I'd probably go for something like Fruit Ninja.
Just like basic.
Yeah, it's easy and it does. It's not asking you to do too much.
You see, I want to play it, but I'm waiting for Gunslinger. Because obviously it's free.
Yeah,
with Gunslinger.
exactly.
So, and I do want gunslingers, so it's like, yeah.
I think that's probably the way to do it, to be honest. But yeah, it was alright. I mean, they were clever to put a Connect title in the Summer of Arcade. You know, because that would have boosted its sales for people wanting to get a free game by buying them all or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, Fruit Ninja, it was okay. Bastard menus. The front menus are incredibly annoying. Because you chop the option that you want to play. And it's just so finicky that you just always end up chopping the wrong one. Always. You know? And it's just... And I don't even know how they did it, because I'm pretty sure that those Connect menu options were a Microsoft standard thing. Where you hover over and it does the circle thing. But these are exactly like they were on the phone.
No, Dance Central's not like that. Dance Central, you have to press.
True, but
and
you
then
still select
slide
things.
from right,
You still select
right
other
to left.
little things on it. But
And
this
that
is-
can be quite irritating as well.
Sorry,
Sometimes it
Dance
doesn't
Central
work
is awesome.
100%.
I love Dance Central.
Yeah, no, I'm talking
Just
about
quick,
just
though.
the menus. No.
Yeah, no, but the menus are so quick.
My little
they're
girl
awesome.
can't use them. She just cannot use them.
Yeah, but she's too young for Connect. She's 2 years younger than Microsoft saying she's supposed to be for Connect.
Like 6 years old.
I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 6.
Wow.
But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, the menus for Connect, Fruit Ninja rather, dreadful, absolutely dreadful. And a lot seemed to affect when I was playing, like what I was doing. Like it does detect your legs and stuff. Although they did say, it said recently in an interview that initially it didn't, and then they just were talking around the office and just came to the conclusion that at some point someone's going to want to fly and kick a melon, so it has to detect your legs. Right. You know, and that's basically what it does. But it was detecting all sorts of weird stuff. You know, I was playing in a room with a cat, and the cat kept annoying things and stuff like that. So. It's tricky. I think you need a lot more room than you think you would need for Connect Fruit Ninja. But it's all right. I don't think it's just a different sort of gaming. I don't think it was a low point of the arcade.
And to be fair, none of us have even looked at Toy Soldiers.
No, not tried Toy Soldiers out. Cold War.
I mean, I played the demo of the original, and it seemed quite interesting.
It's just because it's that tower defense stuff. Tower defense doesn't really get to me.
It seems like a lot of games on Xbox Live kind of just mimic tower defense. Obviously, got South Park Go Tower Defense and Tower Defense.
Well, even that, but there's been a lot more because there's been a big tower defense trend, but there's been almost even more so recently that jump out tower defense thing, which is like Cold War and Monday Night Combat and Defense of the Ancients and things. That seems to, and I think I even enjoy that even less. I think I prefer the sort of South Park style one or the classic sort of traditional tower defense where you are just placing towers against a wave of enemies that comes through. This new sort of like get in and be like a third person shooter as well gets you in the action. You'll be excited. So I don't know if I want that. I don't know.
But then Trench does it really well.
Yeah, exactly. Which is coming out.
Yes, they got a new
Iron
name.
Brigade.
Iron Brigade.
Iron Brigade, which is a dreadful name. But it doesn't matter.
Arose by any other name.
Yeah, exactly. But that is coming out. It's coming out in September, I think.
Yeah.
So
Looking forward to it.
yeah, that would be quite cool. I'm glad to see that. So that I will pick up, but I don't know if Toy Soldiers is. And it's gimmicky and it's supposed to be quite funny in the fact that you get basically Rambo and Ivan Drago and stuff in it, and it's all very Top Gun themed, and that's all quite cool. But I'm looking at videos of it. I was like, well, this sort of fake Rambo toy going all the time just made me think. I don't know if that's gonna. I don't know if I'm down with that. So yeah, it's weird.
Might give it a go at some point.
I just don't feel like Summer of Arcade was as good as I thought it was.
And then there's
a month
still
ago.
Crimson
Alliance.
to come,
Which I will pick up.
technically I think is outside of
It is.
Summer of Arcade.
But I will pick it up. I think it looks quite good. Certain affinity, sort of Diablo-esque co-op hack and slash, I guess.
Like Butchers.
Yeah, I think is that next week? It's got me out. I
Yeah,
suppose it must be because
Yeah, I'd
it's
imagine
sort
so.
of for the freebies. All right, and that was Summer of Arcade. Only other thing that I did play then, unless anyone anyone played anything else that's worth mentioning?
That's not on the list.
No.
All right. Well, I played a couple of indie games the other day because there are no games out, and I was like, well, let's have a look at indie games. It's worth looking in the indie game section every now and then just to see the diabolically bad fake game boxes that people make to promote their game. It's like you guys are capable of making a game. Even the worst game, all those people that are on there manage to make a game.
Yeah.
They can at least make a decent cover box for it. Like some of them are atrocious. Like using like clip art and various, and I made Microsoft Paint. It's just like, well, just put a decent box together. It's your game. You've spent ages. This is the bit we're going to see, you know? I don't get that. That and stupid name games. And stupid name games is one of the things I want to talk about. 'Cause 2 games I played. I played one and I downloaded it simply because of the name, which is something that seems to happen quite a lot in the indie game channel.
Yeah, sure.
You know, you go, oh, it's a funny name, or that's a stupid name, or whatever. And this was called, I believe it's called Super, it might have been Secret, but Super Stunt Agent Julie. Which I thought, brilliant, I had to purchase that. It was alright, it wasn't great.
Well, you bought it?
No. You don't need to buy them, do you? You don't need to buy indie games because the trials are all time-based. And they're so long normally that you'll play it in that trial for as long as you would ever want to play that game. So I just did a trial. And it was like, it had like fully voiced cutscenes in it for a start. They were just like comic Max Payne style slides, but then they were fully voiced. And you were this secret agent who was now posing as a stunt motorcyclist. And some dude goes and says, we need you back on the field. And she's like, I cannot do it. Because she's French but has a weird accent. and he's like, Julie, we need you. Which is just, there's always like weird sort of like, Julie, the country is depending on you. And it's like, it's just Julie, leave Julie alone. You know?
Just train another agent.
Exactly. Don't get someone who's not called Julie. And so, yeah, and then she takes the mission. And it's basically Excite Bike, you know? So you've got like 2D hills, you know, and you're doing wheelies over them and stuff like that. But you've got a machine gun. And that's just on the sticks, sort of pointing an arrow, you know, wherever you point is where it shoots and just fires a constant, unlimited bullets shot.
Right.
And then you're just taking down planes and tanks as you jump over them and do wheelies and stuff. It was alright. That's basically it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, well, yeah, but I don't know how long would I play Excite Bike for, I wonder. You know, there's things like that. So it's 80 points. You don't even need to buy it. It's got a woman called Julie in it who's French, who has a machine gun and a motorcycle.
Sold. I'll take 2.
It's not graphically astounding, but why not? So I gave that a go. I also gave another game a go, which I'd heard about from a few people. Everyone was sort of like, it's weird. It's weird when people start talking about indie games on that channel, because it doesn't happen very often.
No.
And it's normally, you know, something that's caught someone's eye for some sort of interesting reason. So it's worth taking a look. And a couple of you mentioned this game called Applejack. Yeah. And it's like, oh man, it doesn't even sound like a game I'm going to like. And I don't even really like it. It's all right. But when I went to the page to load it up, it had like reviews on it, and it had like Eurogamer giving it 8 out of 10, which is like, well, all right, fair enough. Well, weird enough that they're reviewing an indie game anyway, so it's obviously caught someone's attention, and then an 8 out of 10 is not bad. And it had an edge quote on it as well, so it's clearly caught the eyes of people, you know, reasonably decent people within the media. So I've had it up, and it's all right. It's kind of, it looks okay. It's got nice music. It's all set in Suffolk, which I thought was really weird. The whole thing's in Suffolk. And you are Applejack, who is this like dude with an apple for a head, yeah?
Yep.
And it plays a bit like Super Mario Brothers 2, in that you're killing pandas. You seem to be killing pandas and washing machines.
Yeah, you'll upset her from the get-go.
Yeah, you're killing pandas. And the way you kill them is you jump on their head, and that doesn't harm them. You just can then ride them around. And then you push the A button, and he picks them up, a la Mario Brothers 2.
Yeah.
And then you throw them into someone else,
and it destroys
kills
both
them
of them.
Yeah.
And it releases loads of coins.
But
it also has a timer, a combo timer.
And it's wicked, because when you multiply stuff, when you keep doing it,
just
it's more and more
amounts of coins.
So you get to the point where there's just like loads and loads of coins.
Like an 8-time multiplier, and there's just coins.
It's wicked, and they just bounce over. So that is kind of cool.
Yeah.
The music's quite nice, and it looks alright. The other mechanic is going is you press down on the D-pad, and you kind of just turn into just the head, and you can roll around through smaller gaps like Metroid.
I don't know if I ever did that.
Yeah, you do it. We do it on one of the levels, or one of the levels I did.
I don't remember.
It's probably not an initial thing for them to crack out, but it was alright. It was pretty good. It was
mildly amusing.
Yeah, it wasn't solid enough to be an XBLA title, but it was a pretty good indie title, you know. So Applejack. Yeah, 80 points is probably quite a decent sized game as well from it, I guess. I might pick that up actually if I've got a spare 80. So that's cool. Alright, that's our games.
There is one.
What?
On your iPhone. We both played it.
Rage on the iPhone. You've been playing Rage on the iPhone?
Yeah. It's free as well, which is crazy.
Oh, is it free now? I bought it when it was like $6.99 or something.
Oh, really?
I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, that is free. The HD version and the standard version. They're both free.
Rage is good. It's using the Rage engine.
Yeah.
It runs at 60 frames per second on an iPhone.
Pretty impressive stuff.
That's slick. It's an on-rails shooter.
Yes.
But it looks nice.
It's interesting though. There's a lot of pickups in it. There is certain points in it where it pisses you off.
It's a bit like the club.
Yeah, a tiny bit.
It's a bit like a first person on rails, the club, because you're hitting like signs and things.
There's signs, there's pickups, you get multipliers and that. But there was one point that really peed me off. There was a ghoul type person in the background throwing things at me. I had a shotgun, could not reach him. I was fuming. I was sitting there going, well, I can't hit him.
But I'd be fuming as well if a shotgun could reach him. What was it? I was playing something. I played the other day, and I think you reminded me of it or something, and the shotgun was just mega packed. Maybe it was body count. I think it was body count, actually. I just had a shotgun and I could just destroy people from anywhere. It's just like, this is the most amazing shotgun.
Quantum of Solace was exactly like that.
Yeah,
it was
that's
like
true.
long
I
shots.
understand Terminator Salvation has the same
it does.
But that's fine. But so you couldn't get this guy?
I couldn't get him, but I had to switch my pistol, which was fine, but I had 2 bullets left. So then I died. So I didn't kill him in that. Yeah. But it's an alright game, like I said, it's free as well.
For free, that's really good, actually.
You know what I mean? And if you've got an iPad, I'm sure it's a hell of a lot better.
They said that they were bringing out another Rage title before Rage came out.
Wow, really?
iOS. That would be a more proper sort of like flashback thing. But yeah, Rage on the iPhone is pretty good. Quite like it.
And it's
Quite
great.
like it. Alright.
That was about it, really.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
It's good, you know. You need to try out, actually, because you're the only one that has an iPhone at the moment. What's it called? Groove Coaster?
Right.
Everyone's raving about Groove Coaster.
What is it?
I don't know. It's
really?
Some sort of awesome rhythm action.
Maybe for next time I will.
But yeah, that's my top tip. Groove Toaster? I'd love a Groove Toaster.
Groove
Coaster. Alright, that's our games then. Let's talk about some news.
Dun, dun, dun.
Headlines. It's been Gamescom, so there's been announcements and stuff, but also it's been 2 weeks, so there's been some stuff that's come out. Actually, it's been quite a lot. Probably the oldest news that we'll start on, actually, is there's a new Counter-Strike game coming out.
Yes.
Valve have announced last week or so, new Counter-Strike, Global Operations, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Which is, it's been, 10 years since there was the last Counter-Strike?
But it is great news.
It's pretty cool, yeah. It'd be interesting to see how they do it, as to whether it's, because they're experimenting so much with like the free-to-play stuff at the moment. You know, Team Fortress 2 just went free-to-play.
Yeah.
They're not sure if Dota's going to be free-to-play, but it might be. But also, this is like another game. Like, Valve haven't released a game themselves, like fully themselves, in quite some time now. This is another studio that's made a mod that they've then bought and gone, we'll make this into a game. You know, like Portal, like Left 4 Dead. And now this. It's like, whack Half-Life 3, please. It was also quite funny the way I announced it, because there's been picketers outside Valve Studios for a few days going, we want Half-Life 3, and it's like a great picture of like Gabe Newell just standing next to him, like, what? And the kind of the best response that Valve had to the whole situation was they announced another game. You know, it's like, get the fuck off my lawn, you know, just announced a game, you know, fuck your Half-Life, we're doing something else. So that's kind of interesting. That's kind of weird. Also, they're aiming for it to be completely cross-platform. So no matter what platform you're playing on, you'll be able to play against other people.
That would be amazing.
Yeah. Which you know, it could happen.
Yeah.
I mean, they did it with Portal. Portal, you could play PS3 and PC.
Yeah.
Cross-platform.
Shadowrun obviously did PC
and Xbox
crossover.
Yeah. So they're aiming for complete cross-platform.
That'd be crazy.
Didn't Final Fantasy 11 have complete cross-platform?
Between what?
360, PS3 and PC.
Was it on
No,
PS3,
I don't think so.
It was before. I think it actually came out before PS3 did, like completely.
Maybe.
Because I know it was quite early on.
I don't think there's any actual sort of major platform holders that have crossed over. It's always been one with PC. So that'd be interesting. In other news, what else has there been?
Nintendo.
There has been Nintendo. Yeah, Nintendo still continue to be.
So
for now.
Next in news, Microsoft.
For the first off.
Nintendo, they've been getting some flack from their investors, because their investors have been going, yo, why don't you make games for those things that sell lots of games and make shit tons of money? In particular, the iPhone and iPad. So investors, the guys who want the money, obviously, have just been putting pressure on Nintendo to go, just make games for other people.
And this is after the price drop on the 3DS.
Yeah. It's like things aren't looking great for Nintendo at the moment. It's sort of like we've had, price drops and no
and
one's
then their
buying it.
CEO taking.
Yeah, taking a 50% pay cut. It's just they're not in a good way. And now investors going on top of that. Look, how about we all made a fuck ton of money?
Yeah.
I'm sure it's all fine, but it's interesting
I think
times.
you got that new Wii coming as well for Christmas. The redesigned Wii.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Which
Wii Mark
just
II.
seems such a bad idea.
Without all the GameCube stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's no GameCube backwards compatibility. I don't know if that's an issue now. I think you don't need to worry about backwards compatibility at this point in the console's life.
Yeah.
Because the people that would be buying one now and would be interested in that probably already have. And your mum who just wants to play Wii Sports, she doesn't know that Resi 4 was good or anything like that. Yeah, it's a weird redesign. It's redesigned predominantly so that it's kept horizontally instead of vertically. That's its main reason for the thing.
Right.
So you're not supposed to have it on the side anymore. So like even the Wii logo is even the other way around. So it'll be the wrong way up when you put it on the side. But it's practically the same.
But it's so pointless.
Maybe they're trying to save money. Maybe it's cheaper.
Maybe it's cheaper, but
Yeah, which would make sense. But yeah, it's a weird thing. It's an interesting time for Nintendo. Who knows? But the idea of them making, I think they've considered making stuff for iPhone before, but
And
they
to be
don't
fair,
want to.
they have done it. Like I said offline, they have done it in the past with
years and
Commodore.
years
They
ago.
kind of sold Zelda and stuff to Commodore, didn't they?
But at some point they've got to. Whatever they're doing isn't working. The only games that sell on Nintendo platforms are Nintendo games, and publishers don't want to make games for Nintendo platforms because they're like, well, we don't sell any of our games on your console. Only you sell games on your console. So it just would be a genius move for Nintendo to go, why don't we just sell games on every console?
Yeah.
They'd be rolling in it.
They would. I mean, ideally at this point, you'd kind of expect them to do a Sega move and say, look, we've actually scrapped Wii U, forget about that. We're just going to make games for everybody else, and they would just clean up, as Sega did in the beginning.
Yeah, well, exactly. So I don't know. It's an interesting one. Watch this space. It's not going to happen anytime soon. They're too proud to duck out of it.
Sure.
But there you are. So PS3's had a price cut, hasn't it? That's quite a major price cut in the last week, which is pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, you can now pick up like a 40 giga classic model at kind of like 120 quid.
Yeah.
Pre-owned.
That is cheap.
Yeah.
That is really cheap.
Well, it's Xbox price.
Yeah.
But with a Blu-ray
but
player.
yeah, and PS3 is just unheard of, isn't it, for it to be sort of that cheap.
And full internet.
I mean, I suppose you can get a Blu-ray player cheap now. Probably you can
Yeah.
probably get a Blu-ray player sub 100 quid. So it's less of a major selling point for it, but still, it's bloody good. I know, if you didn't have a PS3 and you were thinking about getting one, now's a really good time to do it.
Yeah.
Which is it's kind of interesting. Actually, in other sort of Sony sort of PS3 news, everyone's been ranting and raving since the dawn of time about getting cross-game bloody chat in so they can play Killzone and talk to someone playing Home or something. Even though no one has headsets and no one actually really cares. And so they've just kind of ignored it forever. And then this week they just randomly went, yeah, you're not having cross-game chat because we can't do it. we heard you, but we can't do it. And apparently it's a RAM issue. The PS3 just doesn't have enough RAM to support it. Which of course sort of surprises me because I don't know how much RAM it would take up. And obviously we've all been doing it on Xbox before. But also, who gives a shit? Because it's nothing more annoying than someone talking to you while you're playing a different game. I hate it. Worst thing ever. It's like you're in the middle of a guitar solo in Rock Band 3 while someone else is sitting there waiting, doing nothing, playing Halo Wars or something, harvesting whatever. And they're like, how you doing? And you're like, I'm sorry, I can't talk right now. 15,000 people are expecting me to finish this guitar solo to 100%. I just don't understand. It's just weird. It seems really odd.
Strange.
It seems really odd.
You kind of, when people kind of want you to join a party on Xbox Live, you just do because you don't want to be rude.
Yeah, but you
ignore
also don't
people.
want to talk. It's like talking to someone in a cinema.
And it's
not even like talking to someone in the cinema. It's like phoning someone while they're in the cinema. Why would you do that?
It's usually like while you're playing Mass Effect or Fallout, and it's like a really story-driven game, and you want to concentrate, and people are just like 5 people in the background just having a conversation about FIFA.
So this is like let this be a message to everyone out there. If you're bored in your fucking game, do not assume that I am bored also in my game and wishing to talk to you at length about how bored I am in my game. There is a possibility, a high possibility, that I am crowd pleasing. Please leave alone. So that's one bonus, another reason to get a PlayStation 3 this month.
Don't have to talk to twats.
So that's good. You wanted to mention something about a game that caught your eye, Shaun, for Connect.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
It is weird, because I'm not overly enamoured with my Connect. It does spend a lot of time gathering dust. But Avatar Hero Power Up, I do believe it is called, it looks like a one-on-one beat 'em up.
Right.
But the real interesting thing about it is you can pink ticket for powers, so you can steal other people's abilities and then upgrade your own avatar. And then your avatar's kind of got like crazy superhero sort of armour and outfits and flaming heads. And
so it kind of uses your own avatar, and makes them into a superhero.
Yeah, it looks quite interesting.
I think that sounds cool, and the pink ticket stuff's wicked as well. Presumably there's some leveling system or whatever, so you're actually winning something different to what if you've got 6 abilities to start with, you're just winning one of the 6. It's kind of not much, but I'm more interested as to what the battle system's like, because it worries me, this Connect thing. If I'm just pulling a cool superhero pose and then it does a move sort of almost turn-based like Pokemon or something, I'm down for that. If I'm having to throw punches and do weird stuff, then I don't want that.
Just getting that windmill.
But I feel like it would work really well. Like you do like a a Superman pose or a weird Hadouken shapes or whatever, and it does moves similar. That I could deal with. Did we know?
No, just have to wait and see wait for a bit more information to come out, because the video doesn't show the user using it. It just shows you what's going on the screen. Yeah. So we'll talk about it more when we know more.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I wonder if it will use your with stuff. Because stuff with avatars is pretty good.
Yeah,
everyone's got loads of
It seems more like that. It provides your avatar with outfits in game. Whether you'll then be able to take those to the dashboard, I don't know.
Yeah,
which
I'm just wondering whether I can wear my Spartan armor whilst doing it, or possibly not.
Again,
it does look like, I think the impression I got from it was that it was kind of almost trying to do the reverse of that and trying to bring back this person underneath all your stuff is you. Yeah. And so it's kind of taking them out and making a point of that person being then in a superhero suit, and you still see their face, and it's kind of, because everyone's...
I think there are masks and stuff.
No, okay. That's interesting. It would be cool if it was cool. And also, can I play it if I don't have Connect?
I don't.
Again,
I don't think so. I think it's a Connect game.
Which is a bummer. I wanted to show you something before the podcast, and I completely forgot to show you it, but it was of Connect Star Wars, actually. Because it was a video that's up on Game Trailers. Of just a live demo of Connect Star Wars, and just some journalist or some punter playing it or whatever. And it's a new level we haven't seen, because all the stuff we've seen before is just whoever the character is or whatever, the little
generic
Obi-Wan type.
Yeah.
And you sort of force pushing forwards and slicing stuff with a lightsaber. This was completely different. This was, you were a Rancor, and you were just tearing up Tatooine, basically. Right. But it had a weird mechanic where the guy was sort of like making like monkey movements along the floor, and then the Rancor was doing the same thing with his big fucking arching arms, and he was like lashing out, and he would swing its arms and break buildings, and they all destroyed and stuff. And that seemed alright, except for it just didn't work, like at all. Like it's unfair, because Connect works, it does do stuff, but in the wrong situations or circumstances, or for whatever reason, sometimes it goes a little bit kooky.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's difficult. This is on the show floor, there's people walking in the background or whatever, and this guy obviously he's never played it, so he doesn't know what he's doing. But it just isn't working. There's like this whole bits where it's just storming forwards into an invisible wall, doing nothing. He can't turn it round. He doesn't, and it's just like, it's a terrible, terrible, terrible demo. Also, that didn't look like a good level either.
Right.
That game looks more and more shocking the more I see of it.
Graphically, it looks pretty weak.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
It looks more like an arcade game than a boxed retail game.
Mm-hmm, definitely.
Which is a problem with a lot of Connect games.
Yeah. From what I've seen of it, it looks pretty poor, and it's an issue because a lot of people were kind of quite psyched for it when it was initially announced.
Yeah. Well, it's because it's Star Wars, isn't it? People want to be
a Jedi.
Yeah.
They've still got quite a few months on it to go.
Yeah,
it's not
it's true.
due. I mean, it keeps getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. It's not due now until January next year, I do believe.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
So
I reckon it'll probably
they're
have.
saying kind of December. They're saying winter. So it's
Right.
December, January. We're looking.
Yeah,
at
could
release at the
even
moment.
be longer than that.
Because
Could be
no
February.
one knows when the console's coming. Because obviously the console will be released at the same time.
True. Yeah, I reckon it'll probably be like most Star Wars games, where not that great, but there's one bit that's awesome.
Yeah, maybe.
You know, there's always that one bit.
I mean, I think they've got a new creative director now leading LucasArts game studio, and he's kind of said he wants to bring Star Wars games back and make them fun and great and awesome again.
Yeah, this doesn't look like the beginning of it.
No, I don't. But obviously, this was rolling before he had signed up or been promoted or whatever. So we'll have to see what they've got in the future. I don't think any Star Wars game can really top Knights. Obviously, there's the MMO.
Rogue Squadron, man.
Forget Rogue Squadron. I've made myself really unpopular now. Yeah, it wasn't.
Rogue Squadron was awesome. Just the Hoth level on Shadows of the Empire was awesome.
Shadows of the Empire was fucking dreadful.
Yeah. But it had that one bit.
Like all Star Wars games.
Exactly. So, alright, fair enough. Well, that's our list. We've come to our list of things I've got written in front of me. Is there anything else that we should be adding at this point?
Yeah, there's two more things.
Alright.
Devil May Cry anime.
Whoa, is that one of them?
That's one of them,
Okay.
which I purchased for a princely sum of £6
Bargain.
for the entire season. It's kind of like a TV show.
So I don't know anything about the Devil May Cry anime, because A, I don't really follow anime, and B, I don't follow Devil May Cry. But when did this come out? Is it reasonably new?
It's relatively new.
I think it's about a year.
Yeah, year and a half. 2
Okay,
years
so it's
tops.
post Devil May Cry 4.
Yeah, definitely. It's anime.
Yeah.
It's quite generic. The plots are rubbish. The voice acting is atrocious. The animation starts off really well. The first episode is crisp. It's looking nice. And as the episodes go on, the quality of the animation, the actual artwork itself starts to deteriorate, which the anime series have always done from kind of mid-90s when they started doing series like Guyver and Crime-Free Man.
Right.
But they sort of descended from wicked first episodes to just stills and panning
really?
stills, a lot of the time. When they're obviously under pressure to hit deadlines, and drawing kind of 60 frames per second is a lot of work.
Right, and they probably realise no one's watching it.
Yeah, possibly. I've only watched 3 episodes. It started to grate on me after about 3 episodes. So,
Where does it take place within the game world? Is it just
no idea.
Anyway,
It could slot him anywhere. It's just Dante being super cool and doing stuff with Paul Cuser and shooting his guns a lot and stabbing demons. It's alright. It's £6. If you're bored, give it a go.
Excellent. All right. That seems like something to be
Excited about.
about.
And what was the second one?
And the second one is our competition
Yes.
and our winner. So it was an absolute raving success. I'd like to say to the billions and billions of entries.
How many entries did we have, Sean?
2.
2.
Wow.
How many of those were within the timeline required?
1,
Congratulations to that person.
which is at Gimli Ricky,
Right.
who got the answer correct. The stranger's name is Rux.
Wicked.
So he wins the picture and the 1,200 Microsoft points.
And we will contact him. We will contact him to get his details, and we'll send those out.
Yeah, will do.
Awesome. Well, that's it then.
It is.
There's a possibility that the recording has gone wrong on my end and no one can hear me anymore.
Awesome.
You guys are handling it very well.
Yeah.
Right, excellent.
So in that case, that's it. It's the end of the show. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time with some more stuff.
Yeah.
Hell of a lot more.
Let people know what's going on in case they can't hear me.
Yeah, we are ending the show now, just in case you can't hear Mike. He's talking, but You don't want to hear his voice anyway.
No,
That's fine.
we're all bored of it.
Okay, so it's over to you guys to wrap up the show.
Okie dokie.
Well, yeah, we'll see you in 2 weeks. And we will have other games to talk about and game-related stuff and game-related news. Until then, sayonara.
And just in case you can't hear Mike, bye from Mike. And bye from me.
Bye.
Bye.